This one has 8. And when you look at these, every single one of these safety bulletins that's in this book, John Deere's been sued for. And so if you look at them,
That's really funny.
having a rider and the rider falls off and gets run over, they've been sued because they didn't have a sticker that said you couldn't have riders on there. You think, well, that seems logical, but they were sued for it, so they put a warning in there. How does he what? It's a child, and he fell off and got ran over. The next page is the rollover. You went on too steep of a hill. Never met anyone that ran on too steep of a hill and rolled the tractor over, have you? This one here, the operator didn't set the park brake. Got out, walked in front of it, and the tractor started to roll and ran over him. Happens. This one here, they wasn't wearing personal protective clothing, and so he got hit by something. So they just go through all the standard gloves, hard hat, glasses. By the time you're done doing all the safety stuff, you're like a walking mummy. But you need to wear these stuff that is needed for the job you're doing. The next one has to do with fuel. Be safe about fuel. Shut the tractor off. Make sure you're not smoking. How many people have tried to smoke and fill up a gas tank? I've seen it at gas stations. So clean up oil spills, leaks. If things parked on concrete, make sure you fill it. Clean up the spills. The one that I like, which I don't see in here, is the one with the rotary mower blades. Don't put your foot or your hand under a mower deck that's turning. And you think, well, who in their right mind would do that? It's happened a lot. I don't have the statistic on it, but you'd be amazed at how many people have done that and then sued because they didn't realize that if you grab the front of the mower deck when it's rotating, that the blades run underneath and it cuts your fingers off. And so every one of them that you find in here is result of a lawsuit that's taken place. So that's why some of these pages get to be so long and so elaborate. The next section you're going to find in this book is going to be on controls. If I'm going to operate a tractor, a mower, a lawn and garden, whatever it is, the first thing I need to know about that tractor when I sit down on the seat is I need to know what all the controls are. Before I know anything else, first I need to know it's safe about it, and then I need to know what the levers are. Because in order to start it, I need to know what the key switch is. Or if it doesn't have a key switch, if it has a push button, what do all these buttons and levers do? So the first thing they're going to go through is tell you how to identify all the levers and controls in the operator station. Once they get the operator control station done, you know what all the levers are. The first thing you're going to do if you're going to operate a piece of equipment is you have to start it up. So the next thing they're going to go through is talk about operating of the engine. How does the engine start up? What is the procedure? If it's a diesel engine and it's cold out, they're going to tell you how to use the cold starting aid. If they have glow plugs, does it have a cold, an intake heater? Does it take ether? What does it take to get this thing to start in cold weather? That information will be found in starting the engine. So I've identified the controls. I've started the engine. The next thing you want to do is move the piece of equipment forward and back. So the next one's going to be, how do I move it? If it's a gear transmission, they'll tell you what the gear pattern is. How do you take the brake off? How do you apply the brakes? How do you move the tractor and drive the tractor around the yard? So once you've got on it, you know the controls, you've learned how to operate it, you're going to want to do some work. So the next thing that they'll go through will be operating whatever implements that they have. Using the lift lever, how do I lift the mower deck up? How do I set it down? How do I turn the mower deck on and off? How do I adjust the seat? This is moving the tractor, operating the mower. How to lower it down, how to set the height of cut for my mowing my grass. And engaging and disengaging the mower. And so they're going to go through a standard procedure basically from not knowing anything, learning the controls, starting the engine, moving it around, and then actually operating and doing some kind of work. Once you've done that, you've been out there, you've mowed, you bring it back in, hopefully you're going to do one thing before you put it away. Wash it off or clean it. So they usually give you some sort of cleaning and storage instructions. This particular book gives you a little bit of troubleshooting for the mowing because it's a dedicated mowing machine. So they give you some troubleshooting stuff on just mowing.